I like to keep my
Keep
staff
her.
for a long time.
Yeah, keep her. She will not ever be around my kids.
Courtney, you can't even keep a nanny.
It's about 7 a.m. now, and I wake True up every day at 7. I always make True's lunches the night before, but I was working last night.
Kim and Khloe Kardashian definitely don't have the same parenting styles. Now that their kids are getting older, it's starting to become obvious that their parenting choices are polar opposites. There are major differences between Khloe and Kim when it comes to raising their children. The details surrounding those crazy contrasts are honestly bizarre, so let's break them down. Despite the fact that they're sisters, Kim and Khloe are still surprisingly different as moms. Just recently, Khloe shared a photo of a quote on Instagram that aligned with her parenting beliefs, but you would never catch Kim sharing the same sentiment for a seriously insane reason. The message that Khloe had added to her story was, 20 years from now, the only people who will remember if you worked late are your kids. There's no denying that she's always had a strong work ethic, but she's been prioritizing her children over her work ever since she first became a mother. Even when life gets chaotic, Khloe manages to find a balance by always doing her best to put her kids first. In a November 2021 interview with Cosmopolitan UK, she explained that planning any work commitments or meetings around True's schedule was non-negotiable. Khloe also revealed that it was important to her to take True to every single one of her gymnastic classes. By being a present and involved mom, both she and her children benefit. She enjoys being with them more than anything.
I'm happiest when I am with my family and everything.
Not to mention, the kids must feel really secure with Khloe. She's created such a strong sense of consistency and stability in their lives by prioritizing them over her work.
And I don't want to be away from that.
Kim, on the other hand, has always had a tendency to put work before nearly everything else.
Working hard makes me feel powerful.
During a season 4 episode of The Kardashians, she admitted to her mom that working constantly and being ridiculously tired all the time had resulted in a terrifying health concern. Kim was having serious issues with her memory lapsing and had completely forgotten a huge portion of her day. But even though she was having scary side effects due to an extreme exhaustion, she still wasn't planning on taking a break. So when was she making time to actually see her kids? According to what a source told Life and Style last year, Kim doesn't have much time left in the day once she's done with work. She reportedly pays each of her nannies $100,000 a year, mainly because of how long her work days can be. The insider claimed that when Kim is filming, it's pretty normal for her to be on the job for 14 to 16 hours every day. And because she regularly travels to different countries for work, that means the free time she has left over for her kids is usually insanely limited. In another episode from season 4, Kim was in Italy on a work trip, but when she decided to check in on her kids to see how they were doing, the phone call didn't go the way she probably wanted it to go on camera.
I mean, my kids could care less that I'm gone.
At the time, Khloe's baby daddy Tristan Thompson was watching Kim's kids, who didn't seem worried about their mom's house rules at all.
And have completely taken over my house like they run it.
North and Saint were both having a blast, and they were too distracted to stay on the phone with Kim. Both of them ended up leaving the conversation before she was even done talking.
All my kids hang up on me.
The clips made it seem like Kim's children are basically used to her absence. She spends so much time away from home for work, and it's actually so sad that her kids have just adapted to it. It's not like Kim is hurting for money, so maybe she should think about trying out Khloe's approach for a change, but how the sisters balance their work life with having kids isn't their only difference. The contrast between Kim and Khloe's parenting styles is absolutely unreal. In the past couple of years, Kim has mentioned many times that raising 4 kids can be incredibly challenging. Last May, she even made a heartbreaking confession on an episode of Jay Shetty's On Purpose podcast.
There are nights I cry myself to sleep, like, what just happened?
Obviously, parenting can be difficult at times no matter what kind of relationship someone has with their kids, but Kim has also been saying for years that she's just not good at being strict with her kids or disciplining them. What she revealed in the September 2021 issue of Parents magazine was truly unbelievable. Kim admitted that it doesn't take much for her children to get their way. She claimed that she can't say no to them very easily and usually ends up just giving them whatever they want. While she might think that being more like their friend than a parent is a good thing, it's clearly led to some seriously intense struggles. In another episode from the most recent season of The Kardashians, Kim explained that trying to get her kids to listen to her can be extremely frustrating.
I'd be like, it's
10 o'clock and you're still up? Go to bed. Like, you're driving me crazy.
It sounds like getting her children to stick to a schedule is super tough at times for Kim, and her very relaxed parenting style and lack of discipline definitely aren't helping. Meanwhile, Khloe's method is the total opposite. In a November 2021 episode of Mom Confessions, Khloe revealed what her parenting style was like.
I am really strict.
She was also open about what that means for her kids and her kids' day-to-day life.
I have a schedule. I'm very militant.
Many parenting experts have stated that children thrive with routines, and apparently Khloe could not agree more.
I believe that a schedule saves everything.
But having a set routine isn't the only way that Khloe and Kim's home lives are different. Khloe is a complete neat freak and loves having everything organized, but she doesn't want her kids to be quite as obsessed with cleanliness as she is. She explained that even though it makes her cringe inside, she wants to make sure that True isn't afraid to have fun and make a mess sometimes.
Always just try to mess things up and tell her it's okay to live in a mess.
But for Kim's kids, cleanliness is a requirement, not an option. In the April 2018 issue of Elle, she said that keeping her minimalist home totally spotless was still a priority for her. She admitted that she'll actually flip out if everything isn't organized, and that's not the only time she's mentioned her extreme need to keep everything tidy. In a post that Kim previously made on her former blog, she even claimed that her children were forbidden from playing in the living room. She didn't want to risk having her white furniture looking dirty, so the kids were only permitted to play in the designated playroom. It's beyond obvious that Kim and Khloe have different priorities as parents, but even though that's understandable to an extent, there are some things that probably shouldn't be completely dismissed. Kim has been criticized countless times for allowing her kids to be rude to her and other people, and most of the time, it's North's disrespectful attitude that people find seriously alarming. In another recent episode of The Kardashians, North joined her mom at a fitting the night before the Met Gala, and the way she brutally critiqued Kim's dress right in front of the gown's designer was honestly outrageous.
I like the pearls, I just don't like that it looks like from the dollar store.
Kim appeared to be caught off guard by her daughter's harsh notes, but she still didn't say anything. North continued to endlessly critique her mom's dress, and the designer was absolutely shocked.
It's like I'm being punked the night before the Met, getting read for filth by a 9-year-old.
But even when he tried to mention how uncomfortable the situation was, Kim and North just seemed to find it funny.
This is my worst nightmare,
Kim has allowed North to pretty much do and say whatever she wants her entire life.
Definitely will say whatever is on her mind.
Almost everyone knows that there's a line between having the freedom to share constructive criticism and being unnecessarily rude with your opinion.
No matter what it is or who it might offend.
But Kim seems to think she's doing North a favor by letting her speak her mind despite how hurtful her words might be. However, Khloe has explained the importance of using manners and being humble to her kids, and what she recently posted on Instagram was incredibly telling. Just a couple of weeks ago, Khloe shared a powerful quote to her Instagram story. It stated, "Raise your children to be impressed by kindness, loyalty, and humility, not just wealth, possessions, and power." Khloe has always tried to treat her family's hired staff with respect. In a clip from the show, she even called out her mom for failing to speak kindly to her assistant. Instead of asking him politely to close the trunk, Chris just yelled at him.
Close the trunk!
Khloe was mortified by her mom's demand and did her best to make things right.
Excuse me, sir. Would you mind closing the trunk for a moment? Thank you so much.
Afterward, she lectured Chris about how she had spoken to the assistant.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. No.
So if Khloe has no problem putting her mom in her place when it comes to treating people kindly, it's safe to assume that her kids will grow up learning how to be respectful. From finding a work and home life balance to the expectations they have for their kids, there are so many ways that Khloe and Kim parent differently. But now that we've gone into some of the major differences, I want to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on Kim's super relaxed parenting style in contrast to Khloe's strict and militant style? What do you think about how Khloe schedules her work commitments around her kids' lives compared to Kim, who's constantly working and traveling? Let me know in the comments below.